Welcome to MTB Cooking. Today is the day where we share with you how to cook an Italian focaccia bread. It's a really delicious bread for eating together with foods, for instance, and it doesn't require many ingredients. We'll show some of them to you here, but we will show the rest while cooking the bread. So let's just get started. We first of all take some lukewarm water, so it's been heated up a little bit in the microwave. Then we take some fresh yeast, and we will just dissolve the yeast very nicely and completely in the lukewarm water. Then we add in olive oil, a good olive oil. It's very important in this bread because it is going to be a crispy and quite a heavy bread, and the olive oil really helps to give this result. We also added in a tad of sugar and some salt. Then what we do here is we pour in this durum flour, which is a wheat flour that is a little bit more coarse in the texture. It's going to help to give a really delicious crumb to the bread, but if you can't find it, it's fine to just use all-purpose flour. We also do add all-purpose flour, but what you could do is to just only add that. But here we are going to incorporate both types of flour into the wet ingredients. We do that using this mixer, and here you could use whatever tool you have. Maybe you have a KitchenAid machine, or you could also knead it using your hands, but it's actually a really good idea here with a dough hook on your mixer and to just get in there and incorporate everything nicely. The idea is to really just have all the ingredients come together and mix very well. What we are looking for is a dough that is slightly elastic, a little bit sticky, and you're going to see that result in a minute. But as you can see, the dough begins to toughen up nicely, become more solid, and that's what we're looking for. We have been kneading now for around 10 minutes time, and we can see that we have a nice and elastic, almost chewing gum-like dough, which is perfect. We will then cover the bowl with the plastic film. We will leave the dough in the fridge for overnight, so 12 hours. It could also be 24 hours if you have that time, because the longer time that the yeast gets to activate and work its magic, letting the dough rise, the better. The day after, all you have to do is, here we've added a piece of parchment paper to a pan that can go in the oven. We actually just scooped out the dough without touching it too much, and then just lightly here we are actually just spreading out the dough to fit the pan. It doesn't require touching it too much or kneading it or anything, just spread it out and leave it to rest and rise again for another 30 minutes, but time just on the kitchen table. So not in a cold environment, but in a slightly warmer environment. And then what we can do is to actually poke the dough with some pieces of tomato. These are just quartered tomatoes, as well as some garlic cloves that are just cut up slightly as well. It's gonna really give a nice spicy taste to the bread. If you don't like the taste of garlic, you could of course just leave this out, but it will give a really beautiful, almost Mediterranean-like garlic taste to the bread. What we do afterwards, and it's important to say that it does take some force to add these pieces of tomato and garlic to the bread, so don't be shy, just poke them in. Then add a good splash of olive oil and rub it into the dough. And the last thing we do is we just cover with a bit of fresh rosemary. It's going to give a great taste as well, and some coarse sea salt. This is very important to get this salty surface and which will crunch a little bit when you bite into it. It's very important. We then baked our bread for 25 minutes in an oven that was preheated to 250 degrees Celsius. That's 480 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we actually just, once again, we wrapped it with the good olive oil before leaving it to rest for 10 minutes or so. It's important to just let it cool off a bit before cutting into it. It's difficult, we know, but please try to do so. And then what you see here is a bread with a beautiful airy crumb. It has these air holes which are just amazing, and then it's nice crispy both surface on top and also below. It was amazing, and we can really only recommend you to go and try and create this Italian loaf yourself. It's possible. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, and it's actually really, really satisfying. Eat it together with your Italian pasta meal or with a soup or salad. The possibilities are endless. Thanks a lot for watching MTB Cooking. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye.